Hi, and welcome to the business of being a virtual assistant. I'm your host, Tiffany Parson, and you're watching and listening to episode number 197. Now, first of all, I am, trying to get comfortable so I can do today's episode. And as I moved a pillow out of the way, I thought about the Progressive commercial. You guys know the Progressive insurance commercial where they're basically telling you not to do all the things your parents did, or that you end up growing up being like your parents. And the one of the scenes, he's at his mom's house and she's got all these pillows. So I realized, oh gosh, I am she. Look at this, y'all. Okay. All right. So anyway, I had to get all the giggles out as I moved that one pillow out of the way. Okay, so let's dive into today's episode and talk about motivation. What gets you motivated every single day to jump in, do your client work, market yourself, and take care of your number one client? Our motivation as business owners should mostly come from within. If you are naturally built to be a business owner, that motivation has to come from within. We're dealing with so many things externally that are outside our control. Things that are going on in our home, things that are going on in the world, things that are going on in your corporate job, with family, all these things that you don't have control over, and yet we still continue to push. And if you're not pushing, you're feeling like, you know what, I just want to throw in the towel. It's time to do a self-check and see, okay, what's going on with me? Because from the inside out, you should be excited. You should feel an urge, an unction to go, to do, even on the low days. And I'm not saying every single day you should be super excited and jump out of your bed and race to your office to do your work. But what I'm saying is there should be that pull that continues to draw you to what you're doing, what you're providing, continues to draw you to build, to want to grow and develop your business to where you want it to be. Everybody's growth, development, it looks different, just like everybody's thought of success looks different. Your desire may be to grow your business to be a one-person operation. Or maybe someone else, their desire is to grow their business to the point that it goes beyond themselves to where they have a team, or whether it's a small team or a large team. Doesn't matter what that picture looks like for you. What matters is that you tap into that desire that caused you to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to start my own business, and not just any business, a virtual assistant business. I don't have to tell you guys what kind of crazy times we're in. We're in situations where there's so many companies looking for employees. We're in situations where companies are demanding employees get vaccinated, and if they don't, they have so many days before they no longer have a job. The beauty of having your own business is that those demands are gone. There are no demands. The only thing that you have to focus on is, what do I want this business to look like for me? What type of clients do I want coming through my doors? Something that could be preventing you from being excited about your business is if you're working with clients that are draining or toxic. And you may not know they're like that until you're in the trenches with them. And so that could be causing an issue as well. In those situations, I suggest, if it's a deadline project, that you do the project and don't take on any more work with them. For my believers who believe in Jesus Christ, pray the clients away. you can do that. Just like you can pray away a bad date, you can pray away a bad client. Okay? So keep in mind, this is your baby. And if you've been in business for a while, your baby may have grown up to be a preteen. They may be a teenager, a young adult. You're shaping and molding this for your business, so you don't have to comply to the demands of the world. In my notes, as I was coming up with what to talk about, and it's just, a whole lot of things going on in my mind this morning. Your business is like a marriage in this sense that it puts a mirror up to you so you can see yourself. You see how you respond in situations, whether it's a high or low. You see how you respond in frustration and in joy. You see how you respond when you're not getting the results that you want, or when those results are firing back at you so well, you're just like, oh, so much going on. But it holds up a mirror to you so you see who you are. Some of you may be surprised about what you're seeing reflected back to you. There is nothing else other than marriage that does that. Your business does that. And if you like what you're seeing, great. But if you don't like what you're seeing, it's time to make some changes. Because if what's being reflected back you don't like, that could prevent you from being excited and drawn and pulled to what you said you loved, you said you wanted to do since the start of your business. And just like a marriage, your business requires you to have some type of, I don't want to say balance, because it's never going to be perfectly balanced, but it requires you to be focused and then to take some time away. Focused and then take some time away. This is what I mean. When you know you've got deadlines that require you to be laser focused. So for a few days, you may be laser focused because you've got a deadline. But 7 days a week, you can't be laser focused in on client work, because a lot of things will suffer. When I first started, I was not married. I was single. I had plenty of time, and I was working all around the clock and trying to work a full-time job as well. And it got to a point I couldn't do it all. Got to a point I couldn't do both. I was taking on so many projects, and then ended up staying up all night because I had to work in the morning. Something had to give. I couldn't be laser focused on all that stuff 7 days a week. So I had to come up with a plan. I had to do something, pull back on something. And every single day, you're not going to feel like doing that every single day. Client work for 7 days a week. Then you may think, well, Tiffany, I take a day off. Great. You take a day off. You need more than that. Imagine, excuse me, I got to get some water, y'all. Imagine being able to be laser focused on client work for a few days a week, and then taking care of your number one client, which also includes marketing as well. And then being able to have free days where you don't have to do any of that stuff. No marketing, no client work. You can just put it off to the side, enjoy your family, enjoy your spouse, enjoy your time with friends, take care of yourself. a few episodes back that talked about organizing and writing out things in your plan. It goes back to that. If you haven't watched that episode, I am going to tag it in the show notes. I believe it was episode, for those of you that are listening, I want to say it was, oh gosh, I don't have the exact one. It was maybe 3 or 4 episodes back. Go 3 or 4 episodes back, but it was on organizing and planning. That's going to help you so that you're not feeling like I'm doing client work every single day of the week. Even if you're not laser focused, but you're having to touch something every single day. Now, if it's a project where you're taking care of email support, community support, client support, and it does require a touch every day, it doesn't require that touch every day, all day. You may find that you're sitting at your computer long after you've taken care of the client work. You end up drifting off into Facebook, drifting off into Instagram, drifting off into YouTube. There's so many different places we can drift off if we allow ourselves to on our computer. This week, I want you to get out, have a little notepad, put it by your computer or keep it with your laptop, and jot down every single time you're doing something at your computer, or write down every single time you're doing something at your phone or something at your tablet, any of your devices. Write down what you're doing and the times. So put down the time you start, the time you stop, and what you were doing, so that you can see where's my time going on the computer. Where's my time going when I pick up my phone? Where's my time going when I pick up my iPad? You'll find how much time you're really spending on client work, and then how much time you're spending drifting off into all the other places that these devices can take us. And that is where you'll find, you know what, I've got a whole lot more free time than I realized. You know, I can sit at my computer, do client work, and then end up going on to other things, this and that. And before I know it, an hour has gone by, 2 hours have gone by, 3 hours have gone by, and that was not my intent. And so this is where I want you to find where there's a drip in your time. So for the next week, do that. And then in the next episode, I'm going to tell you where to come and share what you got. I'm going to be doing this exercise with you as well. So for the next week, you got your pad. You're going to write down every single time you're doing something on your device, the time you start, and write down the time you stop. This is going to help us track it. And yeah, there's apps on our phone can do it, but the apps don't track our computer time. And sometimes we need to see things in writing to realize, oh my gosh, I'm spending way too much time on Facebook, or way too much time just drifting off mentally, sitting here looking at my computer. So I look forward to the updates on that. I'll ask you about that next week. Your task is just to write that down on your notepad. And then the other thing is to dig and find in yourself, what is it that draws me? Or why am I not drawn to it every single day? I don't want to tell you how you should feel with your business. Ideally, as a business owner, wouldn't it be great for you to feel drawn to it? Like you can't wait to get to it. You're at your corporate job and you're thinking about, oh, I'm going to do this when I get home. I've got this blog post to do, a social media post, a client deadline, just being excited to do things. If you're finding that the task that you've agreed to are no longer getting you excited, is it time to drop those off your offerings? Clients can be real slick talkers, really nice, sometimes manipulative, and getting us to do things that we don't really want to do or never thought to do. We do them and then realize, ugh, I see why I never thought to do this, or I see why this was not on my menu offerings. So anyway, think about that. You've got 2 things to dig deeper into for the next week, and I will see you on next week's episode. You have a wonderful and fantastic day.